Welcome back to Saints Row, the third one. Alright, so who are we killing today? Randall? Cool. Right, so we just have to annoy people at the casino to summon Randall, because unlike Saints Row 2, you can't actually play any of the casino games, which, I mean, isn't really something I necessarily care about. It's not like I played those games when I wasn't assassinating somebody in 2, but it kinda sucks that it's not there, you know? It's just a little small missing detail that you can't play poker. So anyway, I tried to get out the back way, but I couldn't find a back way, so... Right, Randall is way over there for some reason, and I don't know why. So we gotta drive over ourselves to kick his ass. I have to go over there myself. Oh, you're gonna get it, Randall. Oh, just you wait. Alright, so I'll just take the fast way down, which probably would have been faster if I just, what? Okay, that wasn't a cut, that is actually genuinely what happened when I went down. I just appeared over here. Alright, well, there's Randall, making his way downtown, very slowly. So, perish. There we go. Okay, so, I might have been able to find my motorcycle, but... Well, I mean, first and foremost, there's a pile of money over there. And second off, while I did definitely see it in editing, I don't know if I noticed that that was my motorcycle just kind of standing right there. Because I ran away afterwards. I don't know how or why that happened, but whatever, it's fine. I lived, so we're good. So who's next? Jim. Right, so Pierce is mad about her cable. So... this is a simple one, we just have to go to phone after collecting money. And we just click this and we're good.
First appointment just entered and he looks to be in your neighborhood. We'll have him right over to your address to help get you started with one of our affordable packages.
Oh good, I'm glad it's Jim. Oh, okay. Well, you drive like shit. Like, you drive worse than me, so you know what? That's actually justice. You were just real bad. Oh man, everybody's driving horribly tonight. But yeah, unlike in Saints Row 2, you don't have to put the number in yourself, which is another small thing that kinda sucks that that's not there. Right, so this next one kinda took me a bit to actually find... in that I kind of assumed this would be like, you would find a helicopter and that was part of the assassination. No. You do need the helicopter ahead of time. Preferably one with guns, because the guy you're trying to kill is also in a helicopter. So, you know, being able to just fire at him is kinda helpful. So yes, it's Oliver. The way this was worded, I kinda just figured that, like, you'd go over and there'd be a helicopter nearby, or that, like, he'd be hovering where you could reach him, but no. You gotta do something like this. Just kill him with a barrage of missiles, and you're good. Okay, well then, that takes care of that. So what next? Well, I would move on to vehicle theft, however... there is some, there's a pallet of drugs over here, which I'm just going to carefully maneuver so that we can find the hidden cavern over here, where they've stashed those drugs. It's a little hard to see at night, but you can probably find it at this point. So let me just, oh, the dismount wasn't that bad. Okay, well, I'm gonna need to have somebody pick that one up for me. I mean, I'm not good at getting these things out of here, so... I do kinda want that back, you know? I don't make a habit of collecting helicopters, and oh god, somebody's gonna have to fish that one out of the bay, ugh. Anyway, so... Andy Day, she wants a halberd, huh? I can do that easy enough. So, as you can guess, this one's just gonna be a, find the vehicle as long as you're in the location one. It's not a set vehicle. I don't think any of the first ones we've seen so far have been. But this one's especially easy, apparently. At least if this map is anything to go by. 2 others appeared while I was stealing this first one. I mean, granted, one despawned, but this is so much more generous than Saints Row 2. Like, honestly, if it weren't for the fact that some of these missions are just absolutely awful, I definitely prefer the third and the way it deals with vehicle thefts, though I have to admit, I kinda prefer they aren't here. I did not do hijacking in the first game, and God, I'm glad I didn't. Cause that just seems incredibly tedious, but, oh boy! Anyway, though, yeah, this is where the garage is. This is where you'll be taking this one, and there does seem to be a gang operation over there, but if they don't bother me, I won't bother them. So anyway, gonna get some money. Honestly, yeah, the upgrade that shows you where stuff is just so helpful. Kinda paying for itself in that I'm actually finding things now. Anyway, next one is a Neuron, which is also not a set location for this vehicle. Right, I don't think it's until the third. Yeah, no, this is definitely one that appeared behind me. I think one after this is a set vehicle, though. I'll need to remind myself what that one is.
Good fight!
Alright, so got the Neuron, and I think we just skip over, right? Yeah, no reason to linger there. Alright, and hey, don't bother me, I don't bother you. But it seems like you're adamant about bothering me, so okay, well, I guess I'm just clearing this area over here of you guys so I don't have to deal with you anymore. Cause apparently you guys wanted to choose the hard way. I mean, look, I would've killed you eventually, but I didn't have to kill you now. You could've just had, like, another day to order something nice for yourself, like, I don't know, some french fries. Fries are nice. You might not have had fries before you died, and that sucks for you. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is a set vehicle. Though first we are taking the opportunity here to get our picture taken. Photo ops are usually pretty obvious and out in the open for the obvious reason that they are tied to people who are out and about and want to take your picture rather than hidden drugs or money. Okay, yeah, the torch— oh, yeah, no, just judging by the description alone, we are looking for a very particular vehicle. This one won the race, it won the race, it won the race, and now we're stealing it, so there we go. Don't care what I did, had to find a way to steal this torch. Anyway, the torch is incredibly fast, so really, even with a 3 difficulty on the Morningstar notoriety, getting this one back to the garage is not a problem. That was entirely painless and almost enjoyable, I have to say. Andy Day, you are maybe not amazing, I don't know you that well, but at the very least, you do give me better vehicle thefts than everybody else, so I respect you for that. Okay, so we did finish the Zemos missions, the generic ones that don't really have like the major story tied to them. So today we are going to move on to a new main mission, finally. We've been hanging out with our new friends as of late, but yeah, today we are taking over more Morningstar territory before we move on to removing more of them in the actual missions. Alright, so let's crash this operation. In perhaps the most overdramatic fashion I possibly could. We're in the airport, so I'm just gonna crash a whole ass plane into you if that's okay. In fact, if anything, I hope it's not okay. Goodbye. Okay, that apparently wasn't an instant victory. Okay, come on! I'm sorry. Are you telling me all of them backdashed out of the way of me crashing a fucking plane into them? I refuse to believe they survived. I don't know if I killed even a single one of them. It doesn't look like I did. I didn't exactly go for a head count, but like, what the fuck? How did that kill no one? That was the least successful plane crash in history. I killed 0 people with a plane. Anyway though, yes, so, we are taking over the northern end of New Colvin. Not the entire thing, we are going to be leaving a few missions open, though I think I'm buying everything I can in this one. Oh cool, we can dual-wield SMGs. See, I don't mind that being an upgrade, because as far as I remember, that's not a thing you could do in 2, and if that was a thing you could do in 2, I missed it, whoops. Anyway, that plane is somebody else's problem, because I just needed a convenient way to get away from those guys. And come over here so I can buy this gun store so I can hide in the gun store, so Morningstar will stop being angry at me. Yep, please purchase this as fast as you can. Oh god, they're after me. Okay, there we go. So yeah, basically, we are back on our bullshit. We've got a main mission, and also several activities to do. Just the completely optional ones that only have to do with taking over the neighborhood.
Kissing me on the cheek.
Halfway done with photo ops. You know, maybe if I finish up the assassinations and the vehicle thefts, I'll just have an episode where I start by finding the rest of those. I'll just take one of the fancy DLC plane... Well, it's not a plane, it's an aircraft. I'll take one of the fancy DLC aircrafts, like the broomstick, and just fly around and get everything I possibly can. For now, though, we do have a little more vehicle theft to do. Though currently we only have one more set of missions, for vehicle thefts. We got a bunch more assassinations, though, which you could probably tell from, the little achievement pop-up. The one for assassinations is still a little ways off of being complete. Apparently I didn't need to hop that fence, but whatever! It made me look less efficient, which is cool. Also, I managed to miss the for sale sign. Walk towards the camera, dummy. So yeah, we are absolutely at the point of the game where money is a bit less of an object. You can definitely run yourself out of cash, especially if you want to do some of the higher-end upgrades. But as long as you just start doing activities afterwards, you'll probably get, you know, more of a payout, and when you do, that's enough to pay off a fair bit. Though, I definitely don't think you need some of the higher tier upgrades. I think it can wait until you've taken over most, if not all, of Steelport.
That went well.
Yeah, I feel like... But yeah, now it just feels like money is really yo-yoing. Because in one moment I will have money, and then I will buy, like, one thing. I'll buy a clip upgrade, and it's like, nope, you don't have money anymore, that's done. Money's over with, you're out of it. Then 5 minutes later it's like, oh, you've played enough of the game. Well, here's money again. Spend it all in one place, that's really all you can do.
I'm not waiting.
Alright, there we go, that takes care of that operation, which is good, because I was very close to dying. Okay, so anyway, Morningstar really did not like me at this point. Oop. But it didn't matter because whatever, I'm a master of escape. Yep, couldn't have possibly done that better. That was flawless, it was clean. Nobody can stop me, I am a paragon of not being shot to death. Oh god, get me out of here. Okay, I do need to hurry up on the whole you purchased a thing, because, there is a sniper trained on me. Can't see their facial expression, that's kind of the point of the sniper, but I'm pretty sure he's got a smug, shit-eating grin, on account of how easy a target I am. Alright, so here's a crack house, we got that now. That's okay money, but nothing amazing.
My anniversary's coming up and I need some toys, but Morningstar's buying out all the good stuff from Leather and Lace. You have to stop them!
Oh, not all of the good stuff. Oh. Look, if it's still there when I'm done with this stuff, I'll go take care of it. That is a thing I need to start actually paying attention to, though, is just the, keep wanting to call them takebacks, but they're not takebacks in this game, there's something slightly different, but yeah, there is a set number of them. You can run yourself out of them, eventually. But man, I don't like doing them. At least when they come at the end of something. Cause yeah, no, one did absolutely appear, and I died, and I wasted a recording because I didn't save. I am at least getting a little better at, like, sneaking a save in, though. Especially now that I'm, fade cutting a lot more. We've seen a fair bit of Steelport, you sort of know how to get through here.
This is my town.
So I don't think it's as necessary to show off the entire town. So, you know, sometimes I can sneak a few things in between, the things you actually see. I just happened to not this time, which was really annoying. Oh god, okay. Could you... no, actually, even I can't complain about that one. I mean, none of my complaints are ever justified. But yeah, that was an absolutely blind turn around a blown-up vehicle. You couldn't have seen me around that thing, and there's a gunfight on top of that. And I am the person who did blow up the vehicle in the first place, so like, I don't got a leg to stand on, but I like to pretend I do. I will get indignant about just about everything, including, but not limited to, the fucker who keeps pointing a fucking gun at me from the sky. Quit doing that! The other icons are blocking the helicopter icon. You're being kind of a dick. Uh-oh. You know, this thing has so much goddamn ammo. Honestly, I kinda wanna switch to the McManus at some point. But at the same time, I don't know. The advantage of the McManus is that it does have upgrades, whereas, oh god, what's this, the Togo? The DLC gun that you were supposed to get from, Money Shot. It has so much ammo and is just so strong from the get-go that even though it can't upgrade, it just feels more useful. Again, it has a clip side of 30. That's just good. Like, you can't argue with a 30 clip size. Plus, it also, instead of appearing under rifles, it appears in, I think, special weapons, so I wouldn't be able to use, like, the, RC gun, or the, drone strike, which, in fairness, I haven't been using that much anyway, but still. I don't use the regular rifles, so the fact that, the Togo replaces those is not an issue for me. I don't need those, I just need my sniper rifle. Please, just keep it Saints Row 1 style, don't put it under specials. I want it to count as just a regular-ass rifle. Anyway, that survival, that's what it's called. So yeah, I should be doing more of the survival missions, but they never come up at a good time. Which maybe is part of the point, but even still. Anyway, we're done buying stuff, and we've done a survival mission, so... we can start trafficking.
Got some more printed up?
Okay, Zemos, that was a terrible hit on that car.
Just hurt the Morning Star.
Come on, man, it's business 101. If people are buying someone else's product, then they ain't buying yours.
That does make sense.
Yeah, that's easy enough. I didn't even need a class for that advice.
For more.
So yeah, you know the worst part about the whole survival thing is, though? I'd actually done a different survival mission, which was actually kind of funny because it was a timed one,
This time I'm driving.
that wound up being incredibly easy, because of the way things spawned, and it'll probably happen again if I happen to do that one. But if it doesn't, I'm gonna be so mad. But yeah, it wound up being really easy, but I couldn't keep that take because a different survival mission cropped
Sure
up.
the right people are getting your ads.
Baby, in this town, everyone's a rap people.
I mean, yeah, it's Steelport. Stillwater's kind of the same. But yeah, I did one successful one, and then another one came up, and I died in that one. And it's because an armored vehicle blew up. Like, I'd actually managed to get one of the armored vehicles with a turret on top, but then it just instantly exploded when I didn't realize it was smoking. Did not have time to realize that vehicle was almost dead. And then I exploded it, and that of course kills you instantly, so... yeah, that pretty well sucked. I would have been better on the ground. Especially since now I'm really starting to use the rocket launcher.
I hear ya. Stillwater was pretty rough for a time. We could have used you then.
I mean, let's not overstate Zemos' usefulness here.
89.0.
But yeah, I don't know why I wasn't using the rocket launcher before. Maybe it was a price point thing, but...
No!
again, money is less of a thing anymore. So, I can just buy a rocket launcher and missiles, and it's... rockets, and it's fine.
Jeez! Okay, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna play 2 Fake by Hockey, and this is for you, not your friend.
You're the one who needs this song. You know, I do at least respect the DJs who are like, fuck is this person's problem?
I always win my
The song is for you, and yes, it's supposed to be an insult. Oh, that's bad. Okay, you quit doing that. Right, so like I was saying, I'm using the rocket launcher a lot more, and it's paying dividends. This thing comes in useful every time. Again, don't know why I wasn't using that other than price point. Also, Zemos, you didn't need to leave the vehicle.
Got one more cent to sell.
Think that will drive enough demand?
Another run later should get business where it needs to be.
But yeah, now that I'm using the rocket launcher again, I'm definitely enjoying myself doing that. It is, as always, fun to explode vehicles like that. Anyway though, so... I guess I'm spoiling a thing that doesn't happen, but... I will say, Zemos absolutely redeemed himself in these missions, because at no point did his driving AI ever fuck up so badly it failed the mission on my behalf. Like, I think I failed a few earlier ones, but that was on me, not him. Like I've said, my first playthrough, Zemos was just the worst driver. He would fuck up all the time. And again, it just got me killed 1 or 2 times. Just shouting Zemos' name because he was failing me so often. That'll teach that brute.
Ambitious, man.
But yeah, overall though, thanks to the fact that the AI isn't fucking up, trafficking isn't too difficult. It's pretty much just a matter of not overextending your good ammo. And from that point on, you're pretty good. Like, as long as you don't run yourself out of rockets by just using them haphazardly, you can save them for when cars pile up and just toast a pretty good chunk of enemies on you in a single move. So yeah, it's pretty much just being economical with your ammunition, and that's it, that's all. So, you know, like just about any given trafficking mission in the Saints Row games, Okay, so we've got another escort, which, unfortunately, unless Zemos is into some new territory, is not a tiger escort. Which I'm a little sad about, I've got to admit, but... Is that a fucking Cybertruck? Well, it acts like one, that's for sure. Okay, so, escorts. Right, so we're back to this shit. Admittedly, I did fail this mission a few times. But mostly I'm just being flippant for no reason. This isn't actually too bad as far as missions go, and in fact, we are going to see an improvement over Saints Row 2 in this one.
On Gen X is X-Girl by the Black Keys.
Though I will say, where are you going? Please approach faster. There are definitely a few moments where, much like in Saints Row 2, for some reason, Escort is just really showing kind of some of the issues of the game that for some reason don't crop up that much for the rest of the game. In Saints Row 2, it was level geometry was just kind of bad, and in kind of a similar vein, this game just has some really easy places to flip your vehicle. Every time I failed this mission, I'd somehow flipped a vehicle. Now granted, part of that is because one of the requirements is to get some airtime, and I got that at an unfortunate part at one point, but there were some dumber methods for me flipping the vehicle. Also, yes, one of the commands is to stop for 5 seconds. That one sucks because, of course, if you're not parked in a good spot, somebody will find you, and then you'll get recorded. It's counterintuitive to anything you'd want to do in this mission. Also, for some reason the text in this mission kind of glitched, and just kind of kept showing the goal even after it finished. So I had to pay more attention to the pleasure meter than the thing it was actually telling me. So yeah, it stuck itself on 0.02 seconds of airtime. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, do I have to get more airtime? And pleasure wasn't really going up either. But I have completed the goal because it wanted me to power slide, and yes, unlike in Saints Row 2, the game will remind you how to power slide. Which I really needed, because as you might have noticed, I have not been power sliding in this game. But let me tell you, now that the game's reminded me how to power slide, I know how to power slide, and I can do it more. This has been my wake-up call to actually fucking use this mechanic. Though that being said, nobody wanted me to power slide. Everywhere I went, somebody was in the way. I think this was the most difficult instance of needing to power slide I got in any of these attempts, because seriously, nobody ever fucking let me power slide. Every intersection, there was someone there. It sucked. God, like, nobody's really close to me anymore, but still. At this point, it's just really annoying. There's some days where you just can't do a power slide. Adam West would agree with me on this one.
Give me more, baby! More!
Alright, oh, and... once again, the game wants me to kill somebody I already passed. This is why I prefer Tiger Escort, genuinely. Tiger Escort never has me do anything like this. Like, yeah, sure, I get scratched up by a tiger, but like, the tiger doesn't make me kill somebody I've already passed, thus allowing me to get caught. The tiger is far more straightforward, and is far more understanding of what I need and how to avoid the things it wants to avoid. Anyway, the client wants me to power slide for 1 second still. We're done. Everybody's finished. They're satisfied. But they still want me to power slide. And even now, after we're done with that escort, the client still wants me to power slide. Okay, so what upgrades do I have? Combat, melee muscles, cool, I can be stronger. I mean, I do like that, but, you know what's more pressing? the fact that the client wants me to power slide for 1 second. I had to completely exit the game to make that prompt go away. So anyway, later, after the client no longer wanted me to power slide A for 1 second, we've got some collectibles to pick up, and then we've got Snatch.
We're all going to burn.
Good recovery there. Okay, so, Snatch. So, I feel like if there's any mission type that I don't care much about, it's probably Snatch. I don't know. I feel like these are a little dull. I don't know what it is, and maybe it's also because they're a little less frantic than the ones in Saints Row 2, but it does really feel like you're going back and forth in a way, in one of those ways where you notice you're going back and forth so it annoys you. You know, it's not like a Metroidvania where you're going back and forth across a map, but like, a good Metroidvania will disguise that well enough where you don't notice. No, it's the one where you definitely notice, and it's, you just kind of, well, you get a little resentful of it. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just kind of basic. But it's pretty much just this. Maybe I should have montaged this, but yeah, you just go to one place, Morningstar shoots at you shoot him back, get the hose, you drive back, you do it again. You know what the other problems is? Maybe this was just me getting unlucky, but I'm not seeing any large groups in this one. Like, we've gotta get 5 hoes. I'm pretty sure I had to go to all 3 locations, because all locations only had 2 hoes. Which, yeah, no, I don't care for that. Saints Row 2 had, I think Saints Row 1 as well, had areas that had 3, so that if you played your cards right, you could find enough people in one go that you could kind of cut the mission a little shorter, you know? You know, as long as you were careful and nobody died, you could rescue people without too much issue. Yeah, again, maybe it's because I got unlucky, but I just kept getting pairs. Which meant I pretty much had to go everywhere for this one. I think in a different instance of Snatch, it was, you know, we only had to find like 3, so we could just go to 2 places, and as long as we did well, that was good enough, but meh. I don't think there's 3 in the last one either. Now, I will say, like in Saints Row 2, there are at least some iterations where you have to do something to save them other than just driving up, killing the gang that's in charge, whistling, and then leaving. So yeah, we've got to follow this vehicle,
by Delphic on Gen X 89.0.
which I'm not doing a great job of.
Kong. And they are certainly the queen of their genre. This is The Do on Gen X 89.0.
Shit.
Oh wow, I'm so bad at this. Once again, everybody gets in my way. This is just the theme of this episode. Cars get in your way, and also, the client wants you to power slide for 1 second. Like, if you had to take away anything from this particular episode of Saints Row the 3rd, that's it. Oh yeah, and there you go. See? I'm power sliding more. It is genuinely really helpful, and one of the achievements is attached to actually power sliding a bunch. You know, you have some versions where, you know, you need to drive for long enough. You need to be on 1 or 2 wheels, depending on the vehicle, for long enough. But there's also one for power sliding, which I've not been great at getting. And wow, damn, you had the prime opportunity to stop that from happening, and you did not. Also, this is not one of the hoes, apparently. I think I might have left somebody behind. Cause, no, actually both of you are hoes. One of them just had the generic fleur-de-lis symbol. Oh well. Anyway, we're done with that, which is good, because again, Snatch isn't my favorite, it just sort of happens. It is not particularly out there as far as Saints Row mission types are. It's kinda just a holdover from Saints Row 1 where things were a little more normal. Insurance fraud aside, of course.
Why you calling? Got another party in mind.
After the last one, don't think so, Z.
No parties ever again until the Syndicate's completely gone. Then we can party. Perhaps even all night.
Call me Mr. Desex Machina, because something just fell into my lap that should fuck with the operation.
Alright, where are we headed?
Come to me, I'll give you the details when you get here.
Better be a good plan.
Alright, Mr. Ex Machina. This plan better involve walking up to a bunch of Morningstar and shooting them. That's the only plan I like. Look, if other things happen, sure, that might help, but I'm just here for the shooting the Morningstar part of it. So anyway, yeah. Power sliding. Look, the client wants me to power slide for 1 second, and I'm going to do just that, even if they're not here.
And while no group has taken credit for the attack in Stillwater,
It's the Luchador's fault. It should be incredibly obvious. They have luchador masks and they wear green. Neon green.
Fucking idiots.
No more! Those responsible for this act of terror will be found and held accountable.
Okay, again, it was the Luchadors. Look, I know I happen to be on the bridge named after your husband who also exploded near me, but it wasn't my fault.
The hell is the Stag Initiative?
If it's free porn for everyone, I am down.
Oh yeah, the American government is totally turning
So
around
the
on
lead.
pornography. You know how unlikely that is, Zemos. You out of all people should understand this.
To kick the morning star right in their collective puzzle.
Wait, they only have one amongst all of them?
Flash the car.
This is like a hive mind but for
So, Pretend
vaginas?
to be an eccentric millionaire?
Kinda. I'm gonna auction you off as a sex slave.
Fuck that.
Oh, quit being a bitch and get in the van.
You know, it would have been nice if you led with that as part of the plan, so we could have said no. Well, you know, last time I was down on Angel, but I kind of, started to appreciate him as I realized, no, actually, he's kind of just like that, probably on purpose. And now Zemos is kind of going down the list.
Here's your guns back.
Where are we going to put these silly weapons?
That's on you to figure out, baby. I would rather not know.
We can get creative. So yeah, you know, despite the fact that Zemos did not crash at any point during those missions, he's kind of going back down the list. So anyway, yeah, all that is to give us an excuse to have a mission where we are naked and drugged up and... Look, I know I called a different episode the Ho Room Spinning, and maybe that would have been more fitting for this mission, but I don't know, I kind of like what I came up with for a title for this one, I'm sorry. I think it's good. But yeah, pretty much a straightforward mission. It's just the main joke is, you are buck naked. But no less resistant to bullets, which is nice. There is of course also the extra challenge of having to deal with being drugged up. Cause yeah, everything is constantly moving, so it is real hard to aim.
The floor is so wobbly.
So yeah, in terms of gameplay, there's your challenge factor. But
This stuff is amazing. I love action.
But in terms of the jokes, yeah, this is pretty much it. You're just completely naked for the whole thing, which, you know, I guess it's kind of funny,
It's
a little
like
bit.
living in a rainbow.
Well, no, I think I'm being a little unfair. The other joke is that the boss is just extremely fucking high.
I've been missing out on so much.
Maybe not high necessarily, Look, I don't know off the top of my head which drugs do this. It's kind of just the I don't want to say fantasy drug, the media drug effect, which is also the media alcohol effect, where it's just character has had drug or alcohol, just have them act real wacky, and that's pretty much it. No real nuance to the differences between drugs. Like, weed wouldn't make you act like this. But sometimes people will just be like, oh yeah, they had a weed, and for some reason it's a hallucinogen. Why? 'Cause no one here has ever smoked a weed. Also, that man probably had the best death of anybody in this series. Anyway though, yeah, definitely want to get rid of the snipers, because they're very annoying. You probably noticed, but, it's not exactly easy to use a sniper rifle in this one. I would go so far as to say, don't bother with it. It's probably not your first choice. Maybe if you're interested in a challenge, you could try aiming, but considering everything's wobbling, the high-precision weapon, probably not particularly good. Also, if there is any place in the game where it's fitting for the boss to pose after taking down enemies in the middle of a gunfight, it's this one. Whatever drugs we've had, yeah, that's the kind that's just gonna make her do the paint me like one of your French girls pose, or whatever. Other times it's admittedly a little annoying. I mean, it's definitely stylish and it's probably, you know, kind of a taunt, but, you know, sometimes you do a melee takedown and you just want to get moving immediately, and the game's like, no, you're doing this. And it's like, you're adding a little unnecessary risk that I wasn't expecting there. Like, in fairness, it doesn't always happen, so you might not expect it to in certain situations.
Whatever happens, it is going to be perfect.
Doesn't matter if we're nude, we're gonna do it. If anything, the nudity helps. How? Don't ask me, I don't know either. Also, I'm relatively thankful that the boss doesn't do the stupid face they do in Saints Row 2 when you get naked. For some reason, they just get this really dopey smile.
Okay, time to start guessing.
Which, you know, doesn't much matter. I don't think there's anything that calls for streaking in that game. There might be an achievement for it, but nothing I ever particularly cared about. It's just, anytime I removed all clothing so that I could find a new outfit, they would make that face, and every time I'm just like, don't do that in front of me. I don't want to see you do that, you look dumb. So anyway, yeah, all that is to say I'm thankful they don't do it, considering you have to be here. You have to be naked at this point in the game. Also, I don't remember reading about any particular censorship here, but if I remember correctly, there is a censored version of this game, much like in Saints Row 2, but I don't recall any notes for this particular mission. I might want to recheck that. Also, I'm sorry, they're doing a pretty good job of killing the Morningstar, but one got in the way. I didn't want to. I don't want to kill a random woman. But, you know, these things happen sometimes. Anyway, while we're still on the mission, though, I should mention etymology for this one. The name of this particular mission is Pimps Up, Hoes Down, which is named after an HBO documentary about pimps. I'm not gonna read the Wikipedia description, however, when looking over that, it's very short, and does mention one of the criticisms is, you know, they had to pay for the rights to film pimps, and also something called the Players' Ball. I did not know that there was a pimp convention in Chicago. Like, if you told me about that before, you know, actually looking that up, I would have just assumed that was a Saints Row joke I'd forgotten about, but no, apparently that's a real thing. Okay, man with a minigun. Thank goodness we are not extra weak to bullets, because, You know, typically these things will tear you apart if you are wearing clothes. I can't imagine being nude would help any, but, again, doesn't matter for the boss. She is very good at dealing with bullets. Always has been, always will be. Just have to, you know, maybe not stand in the way of fire. She's good at tanking bullets, but not that good. Also, I forgot that guy has like a close-up shove counter he can do. I wanted to just bat him in the face to finish him, but no, that was a stupid idea. I should have shot him instead. Which I did eventually. Alright, there we go. Anybody else? No? We're cool? Good. And there we go, that's Pimps Up, Hose Down. Alright, got some money. And we got the safe word as a crib. Did you think we were out of bases? No, we're not. So this is also one that is sort of customizable. Now, you might think it weird that this one can be customized while the others can't. At no point have we been able to change the decorations of our strongholds thus far. But don't get your hopes up if you were hoping for something like Saints Row 2, because unfortunately it's not quite that. So, customization in this game is actually just another upgrade, which we'll see in a moment. So yeah, you can't avoid getting safe word. It's not like the Morningstar Tower where you could blow it up. Wasn't a stronghold anyway, but you know, was supposed to be, and you could have potentially made it not be, but whatever. Stronghold customization. We get more respect, more money, and I'm gonna guess that's more ammunition to cash, so you do have to purchase these separately as well. It's not like 2 where it kind of just combines the cost into the last one if there's something before it that can be purchased. It does want you to buy these individually. So we gotta watch all this twice. So yeah, I have not seen the actual weapons cache in action, cause I keep going to the gun store instead, but the respect bonus and the cash bonus, absolutely something I want, so I'm just buying these upgrades immediately, cause they're really useful. And there we go. Right, so, pretty successful day. We own most of New Colvin now. We've got a ton of money to work with, thanks to Safe Word. And yeah, this is just gonna show us the, various things we've unlocked for, upgrading this particular stronghold. And, yeah, that will pretty much do it. So, after we purchase some upgrades, because I don't need to buy any new, buildings or businesses next time, can just go through, pick what I want, and we'll worry about having to purchase more businesses later, because, like I said, we're done here, and we have a Morningstar mission next, which means we are not going to be going anywhere but New Colvin next time. We'll pretty much just finish up all of these stuff we have to do here, and then do that mission, which is actually the last mission of... I guess this is Act 2. Yeah, this is Act 2, I'd call this Act 2. So yeah, we're almost done with the Morningstar stuff. And so, next time on Saints Row the 3rd, we'll be doing that exact thing.
The Morningstar are trying to kidnap my sister for one of their whorehouses. You gotta help me, please!
We'll also help that guy as well. You know, 'cause I'm nice.
Fresh kicks, fresh clothes, I look cool. All we ever do is kick it, bro. Fuck school, fuck aprons, and fuck washing dishes. I only wanna smoke mad weed and fuck bitches. I'm in the back of my classroom, super high. You probably do the same thing if you were I make music, get chicks, and I'm uber fly. See me on my BMX.